I was very honored to be inducted into this Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame. I would like to thank the committee for nominating me and inducting me, and I would like to thank all of my fellow nominees and inductees. It's a great honor for me to join many of my friends who are here tonight as part of their family. I'd also like to thank Rick and all of the people responsible for this lovely evening for the great job they did in sharing my journey with you just now. Thanks to their hard work, all I have to do is thank some special people who helped me along my journey to this evening. First, there was Jerry Olchina. Jerry was the person who convinced me to get involved in basketball administration when she asked me to take over the Women's League. I played for Jerry on the St. Vital Grads team, and I was very pleased to see her husband here this evening and be able to remind him that she started me on this journey. Then that led me to the board of the Basketball Manitoba. There I met two wonderful gentlemen, Don Kerr and Ralph Watts, who took the time to take a very green, very young woman and teach her the skills that are needed to become a member and a leader in the sports community. Under their guidance, I learned what I needed to become the president of Basketball Manitoba, and at their urging, I became a member of the board of Basketball Canada. I also had the privilege of working with some wonderful staff. This was with some wonderful staff. The first was a young man who some of you will know, Scott Taylor. Came here from Ontario, was our executive director of Basketball Manitoba for a period of time before he went back to what he really liked, and that was sports writing. After that, I had the privilege of working with Rick Lambert, Gail Kendall, who many of you will know from the University of Winnipeg women's team, Tracy Turner, and finally at the end of my tenure, I had a chance to work with Adam Wedlake, who's the executive director now of Basketball Manitoba. I also need to thank Peggy Hayes, who some of you will know, and Doug Grant, who managed somehow to talk me into getting involved with wheelchair sports. When Peggy found out that I was retiring from Basketball Canada, the next thing I knew, I was on the board of the Canadian Wheelchair Sports Association. And the rest, as they say, is history. I was hooked with this new challenge, where I met people like Gary McPherson, Dean Malway, and Reg McClellan, who helped me understand the challenges of disability sport, and more importantly, made me a believer that it was, after all, just sport, and we all needed to play it. I was also lucky to work with Wendy Gittins, Steve Bach at the national level, and Sir Philip Craven at the international level. Sir Philip taught me an awful lot about the Paralympics and about the goals and the challenges of taking disability sport to the next level. I can even claim a little bit of involvement with the Hall of Fame, because way back then, I came on the board of the Manitoba Sports Federation, and where I had a chance to work with the likes of Sandy Riley, Don McKenzie, and Tom Saunders, who helped me expand my skills even more. And I met for the first time a young man, who we all know from here tonight, Rick Bromley, who had just come on and has taken the Sports Hall of Fame to a whole new level. And finally, I would like to thank my family, my late husband Jim, for his support and mentorship, which was very much instrumental in my progress as a volunteer sport leader. My daughters, Tara and Kyla, who somehow thought their mom lived in the gym or was in meetings or met at the airport, but rarely saw me except when I was coming home from one of those things. My family, Jim, Tara, and Kyla, were my strongest supporters. Without them, I wouldn't be here today. I thank you all.